you know, the pre-planned ones, that's okay. So what's going to happen is, you know, this is the kind of thing that really happens here, right? This is the bad situation like this. If he's standing over here, and he's got a gun on me, this is not good. I can't reach, there's nothing I can do right now, right? Maybe comply, right? But not a lot. But it's common, you know, because when people want to rob you or want to do something, they don't want other people to see what the heck's going on, right? So they come up there, man, they're up here like this, okay? And I'm like surprised, you know? I mean, I'm walking around clueless, 65-year-old guy, look like, you know, very unassuming. It's kind of like he's going to take me out and say, you know, he wants my money. So he got me on this, and I'm going to bring my hands up, and I'm going to be really scared, right? Because I want to build his confidence up. You know, I don't want to sit there and say, I'm a PFS guy, man. Boom. Now, he may faint, but, you know, I know what's going to happen. So he's got it here. I'm going to bring it up and say, hey, my money's in my pocket. I'm going to give you my money. And what I'm going to do, so we got this thumb here, right? We know that when we control the thumb, we've got better control over or disarming the weapon, right? So there's guys that do this thing a little bit differently. Some guys pound it and comes out this way. So they're just going to pound it real hard, boom, like this. What I tend to do is I like to go to the thumb because it gives me a little bit more leverage. Now look what I'm doing. I don't want to shoot myself. This gun is likely to go off when I do this because his finger's in the trigger. Now when you're doing this, practicing this, do not put your finger in the trigger because when somebody does this to you, they'll break your finger.
Yeah,
that can happen.
That's why when he does it, if you do it slow.
Okay.
So he's doing it slow, and my finger, that I'm pushing on that trigger right now. That gun's going to go off someplace.
Right.
So that's, you know, and also he's liable to break my finger at the same time. So that's why when you're practicing it, make sure you do not have your finger in the trigger or alongside the side.
Right. Yeah. Keep it. Yeah.
Well, everything down
keep it
there.
like that when you're practicing the technique. Now let's just say one thing here. Okay. So now I'm here. The gun is pointing towards me. This is not good. So we have a choice. We can go left, we can go right, and we may have to go up depending on what the situation is. You may have your wife or significant other next to you, a child or whatever it is, and this guy doesn't care, right? He just wants his money and he wants to do his thing. And we may be in a situation where we say, you know, I don't think this is looking right. You know, this guy may not want people around, right? So you're in this position. When I take this away, I don't just hold it up. We're PFS guys, right? So what do we do when we have a tool in our hand? I want to drive him back as hard as I can with my power, hit him a few times. Now, what happens is the gun goes out of battery, right? Because I probably hit the slide when I was smashing his nose in and all that. And what I have to do is tap rack to get the gun rolling. So I'm going to tap rack, and now I'm back on. So I'm going to have Joe, he's right-handed. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, so in the interim, during the struggle,
Yeah.
when the gun is here, and I mean your objective step back, but when it's right here pointed at him, if the weapon goes off and he shoots himself, he shot himself then, correct? In the eyes of the court?
Yeah, but it's again, okay, so there's nothing ever guaranteed. I've seen so many crazy things. So, but the idea was, you know, he had the gun, lethal force, he's got it pointed at you, you're in fear of your life. You are in fear of your life. Officer, I was in fear of my life. This guy was going to kill me. So you get on the court, you get on the stand, and they say, officer, what did he say when you were talking to him? He goes, oh, he said he was in fear of his life, and he thought he was going to be shot and killed. Right?
What you got to remember is that gun was pointed at you.
Right.
You turned it on him.
And
It's not your gun, he started the situation.
Right.
And he pulled the trigger on himself
And he
too.
pulled the trigger on himself. But in all honesty, the chances of you getting the gun all the way around and it going off, it's going to go off before then.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons if you have somebody on either side of you, you got to be careful with that. If Terry's on this side of me, I don't want to take the gun this way. Boom. So I want to take it this way or do the up thing.
So we always assume that you're going to be in tight quarters. That's the worst case scenario, right? If you're in like out in the open here like this, you know, I'm assessing where I might want to do this, but it's not a lot of time if you're going to do it because you're going to get them. You're going to say, I'm going to give you whatever you want, and it's like, you know, he's thinking, good, this is going to be easy pickings. and then bang, right? You're gonna do your thing. So when you watch when he does it, I always like to do it this way, and Joe's gonna show you a couple other ways. So when I'm here like this, okay, I can go here, bang, bang, bang. Again, muzzle pointed in his direction, okay? I'm here like this, please, please, please. Bang, bang, bang. I'm hitting him again here, muzzle's in this direction. If I wanna go straight up, I'm in here, and again, you know, we wanna be smart about this. We don't wanna put our hands over here. We wanna, you know, just here, because I'm complying. Whatever you want, whatever you want. If I'm going up, that's gotta be fast, because look what I'm doing. I'm muzzling myself a bit. But I may not have room on the left side or room on the right side, and I may have no choice, because I may have loved ones here too as well. But I'm gonna take it, same thing, bang, bang, bang. There's other ways to pound them, and we're gonna have Joe demonstrate that as well.
Is this a good position for you, or you want us to turn around some other way?
I like to take it out and come into them this way, okay? And then boom, boom, boom. Less likely to take it out of battery, but it's still a good idea to come back with the tap rack. All right? You never know what you're gonna do. The gun's probably gonna go off anyways. When I do this, and with me holding the slide like this, it's not going to function. It's not going to cycle. So then you're really gonna need to do that tap rack. And it's it's the same thing if I go this way, I come in like this. And the same thing. Tap rack. Yes.
Joe, I have a question. If you tap rack and it's still jammed, like it's still not firing, what would you recommend doing in that moment? Because he's still over here.
Well, depending on if he's encroaching on you or not.
Right.
I mean, if you're here and he sees the gun and he doesn't know that it hasn't fired, he might stop. Let's say he comes in on me.
Right.
And that, boom, use the gun. That's
Okay.
what you got. And just pound this snot on him, you know, and not only you can go to the face, but remember, see through high low, boom, boom, boom. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's a weapon. It's a lot harder than your hand. Use it. Yes, sir.
So a quick question on distance. I've done a lot of gun stuff, and we've talked about, man, how far away should I even be before I try to utilize any self-defense? You know, we're always
Well,
talking about
that's
trying to
what-
get out of it, you know, but sometimes.
Just remember, you are responsible for every bullet that leaves that firearm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even if you shoot somebody and it goes through him and hits somebody, an innocent person, you're responsible for that round. So, you know,
Even
when
in
you
this
get,
situation?
Yeah, well,
Taking
if you're here, and I come here, tap a rack, and you start to come at me, or you're pulling a knife or something like that, I shoot you, and I hit that gentleman over there, unfortunately, I'm responsible for that
I'm not talking
round.
about it, I'm talking about when I have the gun, you take it from me.
Yeah.
If it goes
Yeah, I was
off.
talking about how
Well,
far
that's,
away.
that's
That's
what,
a different
How far away
situation.
would-
that's a different situation. You see,
Yeah.
that's why you gotta be cognizant of what is on your side, you know, whether you have your wife or
Yeah.
kids, whatever,
Yeah.
okay? And there's different, we're basically just taking the gun here, but there's other ones where you take it here, bend it in like this,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So
Okay.
that's whatever the situation's gonna be. Also, like Mike was saying, you know, if you're stuck in tight quarters here, you know, you only have so many ways you can go with this if you're gonna do something.
Okay.
And one of the good ways is up, because that's a fairly safe way. There's nothing you're gonna do on the side. The gun goes off, it goes off up here. And you can literally duck a little bit, and boom, boom, boom after you take it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What is the elevation of your hands when you go to disarm? Wouldn't it be better from angle 12 coming up versus going this way?
I'm not sure how you,
So if you're disarming the gun, you know, this is going straight in. What I'm suggesting is
Coming up like this?
Angle 12. Angle 12 is the most deceptive angle. So it becomes angle 12 to get the gun.
you mean,
Yeah, coming up.
you could do that, yeah.
The the reason why we would recommend kind of what we did is because this is a natural kind of a thing,
Okay.
right? So if Joe's grabbing me, he's got me like this, okay, you know, and I'm gonna come, you know, he may see
It's got
some.
posture of saying,
Yeah, right, so what I'm doing is, I don't want him thinking I'm coming up to get the gun, and he may sense that, and then bang. What I wanna do is say, hey man, I'm gonna cooperate with you, I got money in my pocket, you know, what do you want me to do? And now he's starting to feel his oats a little bit, and he's got this thing under control, and now I can kind of go from there. I think you have a good point, and, you know, you could pull that off, and it would work, and you'd have a lot of power coming up with it. But all we're saying is, you know, this is another alternative to something like that, and this works because you're kind of cooperating with him, but in your mind, because you've been trained, you kind of know what you're going to do. You've made a determination that you need to take that gun from him and do your thing, right? You believe it's the